Hello, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, I'm so looking forward to this bourbon. I'm trying something new.
Oh, okay, I got it.
And today, we're drinking bourbon.
So your thing was to say "and today" twice?
Well, at least.
We'll just put the color bars here, beep, and get into it.
All right, after that dissertation.
Yeah.
All right, Ben. We should probably get into it.
All right, I'm excited about this one.
So, this is, bring it on in.
Bam! This is George Remus, the king of the bootleggers.
The king.
Straight bourbon whiskey. I've been excited about this one because this is one that I see on the shelf a lot, and I just, for whatever reason, have not gotten around to purchasing it.
Yep.
Make sure that's plugged in.
Yep.
And I've always kind of meant to, and you've had this on your shelf for a little bit now.
Just a month or two.
Yeah, and so we are excited to get into it because they have this one, which is 110.1 proof. And then
single barrel.
There's another version of it that I think is maybe lower
Like
proof.
94 is their kind of this standard.
Yeah, so I don't know a ton about where this comes from. I know it's the
this is
house
from
brand or something.
Excuse me. So this is MGP, but it's their house brand, right? They're sourcing it themselves, I guess you could say.
They source it from themselves.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. And so this is their brand of bourbon. So we've never had it. We've probably had something similar in 100 different labels.
And I have heard good things about this.
Yeah. So I am really looking forward to it. Remus does have a couple of more expensive, longer age, higher proof.
Well, they have
bottles.
Their releases that come out.
Yep. That I've always
those
ignored.
Are blends of. I know that's the thing. I've had.
And now I regret it.
I've either had the chance to buy it and I didn't because I just had bought a bunch of other bourbons and the $70, $80 price point was a little more than I was looking to spend.
You need to become a millionaire.
Well,
and buy everything.
Speaking of which, our Patreon is available.
That's a good idea. If we got some people to help us,
I know,
buy more bourbon.
Right? I mean,
we've
we've
talk
got
about
a couple
more bourbons.
Yeah,
we could move to 3 days a week with releases. But this isn't cheap,
Yeah, I mean, at some point you got to put the kibosh on buying bourbon.
Yeah, I mean, right now you're selling your body, I'm selling my body, and
you promise not to tell about that. Interesting nose on this.
Well, you use your body for work, right?
I suppose, yeah. I mean, we're using our noses to smell.
Well, yeah.
And our mouths to taste. I just, you know what? Let's not. Let's just stop this before. I tend to edit our videos, and I feel like there's just going to be a lot more editing I have to do if we start having this conversation.
Or at least bleeping.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see how Mr. Remus smells.
I'm kind of getting like a little cinnamon forward on this one.
That's so funny.
Oak and cinnamon.
I'm getting 0% cinnamon.
Really? I'm kind of getting like that grainy oak and cinnamon.
So I'm getting oak. And maybe some oak.
Really? Is this like super oak forward to you?
Not in a negative way, but that's the only thing I'm...
The proof is coming through on the nose, but yeah,
let's say 110.
110.1, I think.
0.1.
So it's that 0.1 that really gets you.
Well, it's the first 110 is a gimme.
Yeah,
gimme.
It's a walk in the park. All right, let's go in for the
specially selected one. Okay. It's oddly restrained. I'm actually certainly not getting like a ethanol kind of kick.
No, the proof is there in a good kind of bite, but not just blatant alcohol.
Yeah. All right,
let's go in for it here.
Now, why can't everybody do a bourbon like this? This is awesome. It's 42 flavors happening at once. And they all work together extremely well.
I'm not getting that.
Really?
I mean, no, it's really good. I like it.
Getting a nice density, nice little bit of sweetness, A little bit of spice from the barrel, tiny bit of ethanol, flavor of toffee, caramel, maybe a little bit of floral brightness. Baking spice is very light. Fresh baked bread.
Long finish, very long finish.
This is a quality bourbon.
Yeah.
It's well blended. Well, it's a single barrel.
Well balanced.
Well balanced.
Really, really long finish. Like I'm still getting feeling the alcohol burn.
Huh.
And still getting flavor from it.
Wow.
But the flavor that I'm getting, you said there's, a whole bunch of stuff going on, and maybe you're kind of joking a little bit, but I like it. It's good. I'm not getting a whole cornucopia of flavors.
It's funny you mention it like that. The one negative that I get off this is there is that youthful corn note. There's tons of good flavors, but the one wild card is
there is something a little youthful about it. And it says on here,
it's not a pot still, but I often associate this particular flavor note with a copper pot still. And maybe I'm totally wrong about that flavor, but there's
so we just did a couple
young flavoring.
Yeah.
Note.
So we just did a couple that were very grain forward.
Yes.
In a good way. This is grain forward in a youthful way, and I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad thing, but it's noticeable. So it says on the side here, single barrel selected by Howard J. Turkstra 2014. So I don't know if that was
a barrel in date.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be the.
It's where they put the year by the dude's name. Howard J. Turkstra 2014.
Maybe that was his birthday.
Was it selected in 2014, so it was already aged and it's been sitting there since 2014? Because you don't do a barrel pick before it ages.
That is curious.
Yeah, so that's
all right,
weird.
Howard. You need to call us and explain yourself.
So I don't know what the age is in this, and it's not. I don't feel like this is an underaged.
So we're guessing. I mean, I bought it only a couple months ago, so 6 to 7 year. It doesn't drink to me like a 7 year.
There is something. There's a note I'm getting on this, and I'm really having a hard time placing. And it's something I've had before, and for whatever reason, I just can't. I wonder what the rye content is on this.
I feel like that could be a little bit out of sync.
I'm getting some of that, maybe a little bit of that black licorice.
Not getting that.
Is that? I don't know what it is. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting a little bit of that and a little bit of that rye spice. And I could be totally wrong on this. Find out it's a wheater.
I don't think it's a wheater.
And a little bit of that clove and maybe almost some root beer barrel, like the root beer barrel candy, which I've heard that being used as a descriptor for a rye or a high rye bourbon. I'm getting that on this a little bit.
The more I've had this, the more I'm getting some of those Rye Forward notes. I would agree.
Yeah, there's a root beer barrel. You know the hard candy, the root beer barrel candies? A little bit of that with some of that rye peppery spice. And then there's some brown sugar underneath it.
Still haven't got root beer. Still not getting
Really?
the black licorice. You know in Canada they call it black licorice?
Licorice? They go with the soft C on that?
They do.
That's weird.
Canada is weird.
Yeah, Canada.
We're just gonna leave it.
Awkward silence there for a little while. No offense to Canadian people are great if they're watching this. If not, you're trash. No, I'm just kidding. No, I do love Canada, actually. I wish they would let me into their country.
Occasionally. Not for good.
Yeah, I'm not not allowed to go in there because of any criminal reasons. Last time I tried to go to Canada,
it was a lockdown thing.
Yeah, their COVID things where I couldn't get my test in time, and I was near the border, and so I thought I'd go across and hit the duty free, and because they have a decent sized duty free in the place that I was at.
You want to buy more bourbon?
Yeah, I want to go buy some bourbon, and then I was trying to do the little thing online to register and whatever, and I didn't have a test that I had available to do it. So anyway, I'm joking. Canadian people are not trash, at least imagine some of them are trash. I mean, a group of people, 10% of them or whatever are just gonna be awful people.
Well,
You know?
Back to the bourbon.
Yeah,
I'm finally getting the black licorice note. I feel this is a slightly higher than average rye mash
Yeah, I
bill.
do too, for sure.
I really, really, really like it.
It's good, yeah. It's good, but it's definitely, this is not a sweet bourbon to me at all.
Well,
like
but
it's not coming
super
across.
dry. It's middle to high on the dry side.
Yeah, it's definitely middle to high.
I would
on being
definitely
dry.
like to try some of the longer age Remus products. So I'm gonna look for those.
Yeah, and like the releases that they do yearly, I don't know how many they do per year, if it's one or if it's a couple.
It's impossible to say.
But they have, they're usually blends of multiple different barrels of different
MGP.
ages and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
They have never released anything that wasn't MGP.
But this is a single barrel, so
Blended.
you just get the one thing, So anyway, yeah, this is good, but it's definitely, I think you gotta be a Rye Forward fan.
I would agree.
It's not if you're really into sweet bourbons, it's not really that, but if you like that kind of licorice, clove, rye sort of vibe with a nice little sharpness to it, it's good for that. And I do actually enjoy all those things. So anyway, this has been George Remus Single Barrel on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Cheers.